Welcome to AFL Outsiders, brought to you by AFL FanZone.
What's going on, football fans, AFL fans? I am back for your Week 9 game of the week for AFL FanZone. We got the 3-4 Jacksonville Sharks going on the road to face the 7-1 Orlando Predators. Jacksonville actually leads this series 9-7. This game is going to be played on Friday, May 27th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN3 at the Amway Center in downtown Orlando. What to watch for? Number one, follow-up performance. Both teams had drastically different outcomes last week. Jacksonville won 65-34 over Portland, while Orlando lost to Philly 62-54. That was actually Orlando's second loss in the last 15 games, which is just absolutely amazing what Coach Keefe has been able to do there in Orlando. So how is each team going to follow up last week? Jacksonville finally got that win that they needed. They were 2-4 going into that game against Portland. Got their big win. Orlando had a huge game against Philly, but it was their second huge game in 2 weeks. So of course Orlando was probably a little bit emotionally drained in that game. Regardless, how is each team going to come out this week? Number two, Jacksonville's desperate. Let's be honest. They were 2-4 going into last week's game. Talks about firing Les Moss were happening. The hype of the beginning of the season, everyone's talking about, hey, this is last year all over again, but possibly worse. They were losing close games. They were winning very close games against bad opponents like Tampa Bay. So Orlando's got to be ready for Jacksonville, and you know they're going to be playing desperate this week. Number three, both teams are very high in penalties. Jacksonville ranks 6th in penalties with 6.5 penalties per game, while Orlando is 7th with 8.6 penalties per game. Obviously, Orlando's been able to overcome the penalties with only having one loss. Jacksonville has not, so which team is going to be more disciplined come Friday night? Stats that matter. Number one, pass offense. Jacksonville's number one in the league with 296.6 yards per game, while Orlando is second with 274.5 yards per game. Number two, courtesy of Tom Goodyhines over there at the AFL in his weekly stat pack, Jacksonville's Tiger Jones needs just 3 receptions to tie and 4 to pass AFL great Barry Wagner for 5th all-time in catches in league history. 12 catches for Jones against Orlando on Friday night would get him to 1,000 for his career, a mark only 4 others have reached. And last but not least, for stats that matter, is turnovers. Tommy Grady is number one in the AFL, only throwing 3 interceptions in the first 7 games. Orlando is tied for 3rd with 11 interceptions on defense. One of these has to give. Either Grady's going to throw a couple picks, or Orlando's going to have to win without getting much turnovers like they are accustomed to. What it means: a win by Orlando puts them at 8-1, and barring a major collapse, basically eliminates Jacksonville from winning the American Conference. If Jacksonville wins, it keeps their slim hopes at a conference title alive while also gaining a win against the other top team in the conference, which may be important for tiebreakers later. And if you remember, Jacksonville actually beat Philadelphia earlier in the season for Philly's only loss of the year. A loss by Orlando puts Philly in the driver's seat for the conference, assuming they beat Cleveland on Saturday. Bottom line this game, everyone, the closer battle of the Florida teams pits 2 teams coming off opposite performances, like I said before. If Orlando can forget about their loss to Philadelphia, then they should be able to take care of Jacksonville pretty handily. But we've seen it all too often when a team loses a close game, they struggle the next one, which led to the phrase, that team just beat them twice. Jacksonville just has to continue what made them successful last week. Feed Joe Hills and spread it around to London Crawford and Tiger Jones. Leave the end zone for Joe Hills, and Jacksonville has a good chance in this one. Unfortunately for them, I see Orlando taking out their anger on them and putting the Fire Moss watch back in full swing. I got Orlando winning 65-60. For the other games in the league this weekend, on Saturday night, Philly at Cleveland. I got Philadelphia winning 70-51, getting a 3-game sweep there on Cleveland. Portland at Los Angeles on Saturday night. LA's got a new quarterback, but I still got LA winning 62-25. Portland's just hapless at this point. And last but not least, on Sunday afternoon is Arizona at Tampa Bay. I got Arizona winning a close one, 49-42. I think it's going to be a lot closer than people think. Arizona has seemed to struggle on the East Coast this year, so I got Arizona in a close one. But that's it. Hope you guys catch us on Tuesday for the Tuesday evening quarterback. Hope you guys enjoy all the games. And make sure that you like, subscribe, share, do all those things that you like to do. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, all that stuff. And I will see you guys next week.